Good morning, my name is Nikko Peñalosa. Three objectives shall be attained by my students at the end of the class. Students should be able to first, understand the most commonly utilized figure of speech. Second, explore literature materials that employ figure of speech. Third, appreciate literary masterpieces of prominent authors through the language model and personal growth model approach to activities. Allow me to start. Did you extract something out of our discussion about the most used figure of speech this morning, class? Well, can anyone remember these three? Yes, Ms. Tumampos. Thank you, Ms. Tumampos. I am relieved to learn that you completely comprehended today's discussion. Now we shall be doing an amazing activity that you will definitely love. Our activity is called Read Drama, which is a blend of reading and dramatizing. This activity will put your comprehension and interpretation of a text to the test. I am going to divide the class into 5 groups. Okay, who's the one who's raising his hands? Yes, Mr. Paipalio, do you want to say something? Okay, so that is a great suggestion, Mr. Paipalio. Thank you for that. Mr. Paipalio suggested that the grouping should be done by row. Does Mr. Paipalio's advice sound good to the rest of you? Alright, so let's have the groupings by row now. Row 1 will be the group 1. Row 2 will be the second group. Row 3 will be the third group. And row 4 will be the final group. The mechanics of this activity are: first, one literary work by a well-known author will be distributed to each group. Second, read and understand the material well, as your comprehension best dictates the success of your next activity. Third, encircle all of the sentences that you believe employ figure of speech, and then write the figure of speech name in the blank provided. Now, I will be giving you 10 minutes to comply that activity. Does that sound great? Alright, now after 10 minutes have passed, through a 5-minute dramatic act, you must construct your own interpretation of the text you have just read and understood. Each member should be assigned a role to play. Okay? Now, in doing so, resourcefulness is greatly encouraged. Okay? This exercise will take another 10 minutes to prepare. Therefore, there will be 2 activities that you should comply today. I will now distribute the literary works to each of the groups. Are you all ready? Alright. Now, group 1, you will have The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Here you go. Group 2, yours will be the poem by Philip Booth entitled First Lesson. Group 3, you will dissect the poem by Edna St. Vincent Millay entitled Well, I Have Lost You. There you go. And the last group, you will have Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. There you go. Now, did each group get their piece correctly? Alright, were my instruction understood by all? Great to hear that. I see. I'm glad to hear that you're really paying attention while I'm explaining all the instructions. Okay, now is the time for you to begin. Okay, 5 minutes remaining. The time limit has expired. Please distribute all of the handouts. Okay, I have now all the paper in my hand. Now go ahead and start working on your next task. Your 10 minutes timer begins right now. 5 minutes remaining. Time's up. let's go through the presentation in order. That means Group 1 will be the first to present, followed by Group 2, 3, and 4. Show us what you've got, Group 1. Brilliant. Let's clap our hands for Group 1. Thank you so much. Now, let's go ahead with Group 2. Great. Thank you so much, Group 2. Let's have Group 3 this time. Alright, now the stage is yours, Group 4. Thank you so much for that, Group 4. A big round of applause for a job well done. At this point, please arrange your chairs into their proper positions. Please take all your seats. Now, we have 15 minutes before the class will end. Let's use the remaining time for sharing of reflection and insight from the activity you have just executed. My first question is, how did you find our activity today? Was it challenging? Was it enjoyable? Anyone who would like to share his or her insights? A lot are raising their hands. Yes, Miss Batumbakal? Great. Miss Batumbaka said that she really enjoyed the activity because it's a perfect avenue for her to improve her English communication skills while learning about the various masterpieces of different authors. Thank you for that, Miss Batumbaka. Now, my next question is, what is the relevance of knowing these literary masterpieces to your life? Yes, Mr. Dagatnon? Wow. Thank you for sharing with us your experience, Mr. Dagatnon. It is indeed true, class, that when we have a clear understanding of these literary works, we will also raise our cultural awareness, just like the experience of Mr. Dagatnon, where he used his knowledge to educate young individuals about other cultures. It's almost time, class, so our class ends here. Remember that the capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill, and the willingness to learn is a choice. That's a famous quote from Brian Herbert. Goodbye, class. Please take your seats.